to make it in the medical world. And so I just kind of talked about the capstone presentation, but they learn about a project in depth. A lot of medicine is research, and so having that early experience with learning how to come up with a problem and research it and then present it at the end is super great for our students. And then we also have continued opportunities. A couple of years ago, they started the DOT Rising program, which is students that were in DOT in their high school years. They also get paired with some mentors from the medical school. So while they're in undergrad here at U of M, they can get some additional mentorship all the way through until they matriculate to medical school. We also help provide stipend and scholarships and research opportunities for our students. If money is an issue, we can help fund them to go to conferences and all stuff like that. And then that's about it for me. So thank you, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you all so much for sharing about your organizations. I'd now like to take this time to ask if there's anyone out there in the audience who's involved in similar diversity initiatives, organizations at their own institutions, or if you yourself have participated in any pipeline programs as a student yourself. If so, we'd love to have you use the raise your hand function and speak up, or if there's things that you're doing differently from what was shared here today, we'd love to hear about that as well. And while we wait for maybe people to raise their hands or ask questions, I also had a question myself. I know with being involved with the Doctors of Tomorrow program myself, we do have a toolkit that we share with other institutions who might be trying to start a similar program at their own institutions. I was curious for any of the other organizations here, if you guys have anything similar that you might be able to share with others so that they might be able to adopt similar work at their own institutions as well.
I guess the answer would be no. However, I will say that if people are interested in getting a support group for those who are like identifying as first gen or low income at their school, like please feel free to reach out, and maybe that'll be a to-do list for our group, is to create a similar sort of toolkit. But we'd be more than happy to just chat and talk about the things that we found were successful, unsuccessful, and the barriers that we faced and how we overcame them. So.
All right, Allison, you touched a little bit about barriers and challenges, and I'm sure, you know, as medical students, we're also trying to do important work in the diversity space. There are many challenges that we face, especially with transitioning organizations as we graduate. I was curious if anyone, you know, had any future plans for how you plan to keep this work going even after your guys' times as medical students.
I can say that at least for, you know, university, a big component of our program is resident mentorship. And so, you know, I hope that wherever I go to residency, I'll be able to continue sort of diversity work and increased representation work on the resident side of things and help mentor students in med school.
And then following up on that, I just wanted to say that when we were kind of transitioning over leadership, we wanted to be very intentional about including students from the younger classes. That way we could make sure that we had representation across all 4 years, and that way we could really keep up with the momentum that we've started. That way we kind of have a steady source of plans and, you know, the functioning of the club here at the school.
Well, thank you so much to everyone for participating as part of this mixer. We'll now have you all turn your cameras off, and we'll go ahead and transition into our last programmed event for the day, a keynote talk by Dr. Ejiomo Opara.